Wednesday, the 21st of October 2020, and today I'm going to be talking about Mesut Ozil responding to what's happened between him and Arsenal over the past few months, and I'm also going to be bringing you some injury updates as Arsenal have got themselves a few fresh injuries. So let's get straight into it. So first up today, of course, as I said, the big piece of news for the day about Arsenal is, of course, Mesut Ozil again, of course. We found out the other day that he was left out of Arsenal's Europa League squad, and now we found out yesterday that he was left out of the Premier League squad. But now he has actually hit back at Arsenal in a public statement posted on all of his social media sites. So it will be up on screen what he put on his Twitter page, which I got this from right now as well, so you can read along. So let's have a look at what he said. This is a difficult message to write to the Arsenal fans that I've played for over the past few years. I'm really deeply disappointed by the fact that I've not been registered for the Premier League season for the time being. Upon signing my new contract in 2018, I pledged my loyalty and allegiance to the club that I love, Arsenal, and it saddens me that this has not been reciprocated. As I've just found out, loyalty is hard to come by nowadays. As always, I've tried to remain positive from week to week that there's maybe a chance to get back into the squad again soon. That's why I've kept silent so far. Before the coronavirus break, I was really happy with the development under our new coach, Mikel Arteta. We've been on a positive way, and I would say my performances were on a really good level. But then things changed, and I was no longer allowed to play football for Arsenal. What else can I say? London still feels like my home. I still have many good friends in this team, and I still feel like a strong connection with the fans of this club. No matter what, I'll keep fighting for my chance and will not let my 8th season at Arsenal end like this. I can promise you that this hard decision won't change anything in my mindset. I'll continue to train as best as I can and wherever possible use my voice against inhumanity and for justice. Mesut. So, let's, this is probably one of those, usual kind of templates for this, not apology, but just a public statement. But let's scan through it anyway and pick out some points I'd like to discuss. So, of course, he's gone over saying that he's really deeply disappointed by the fact that he's not been registered for the Premier League season for the time being. And then he's also gone on to say that by signing the new contract back in 2018, he pledged his loyalty, blah, blah, blah. And then he said, as I've just found out, loyalty is hard to come by nowadays. Really, really taking a dig at the club there. Of course, he has, as he's mentioned in here, he's spent 8 seasons so far at Arsenal, so he's been a pretty loyal servant. Lots of fans reacting to this whole statement in a positive way, saying, we love you, Mesut. Like, what is Arsenal doing? What is Arteta doing? Taking you out of this Premier League squad and Europa League squad, and also saying, just what's happening with this. But on the other hand, there are people saying that, blah, 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 it's time to move on. We don't like you here at the club anymore. Please just get out of our club. So, it's going two ways. It's dividing the fans, and it's something we don't really need at the moment when we're trying to rebuild our football club. But anyway, let's go on with the letter. He said he's always trying to remain positive, that there's maybe a chance to get back into the squad soon, and that's why I kept quiet so far. So he has, what it looks like so far, he has got a positive relationship with the players and the teams, because if he knew that he had a fallout with them or something like that, he wouldn't be keeping silent. He would be talking about all this stuff, and he would have known that he wasn't going to get into the squad. Of course, as I said, he's gone on to say London still feels like home. I still have many good friends, pretty much confirming that point. Let's go down a bit again. He said, I'll continue to train as best as I can. Of course, he's still being in these training sessions, but now he's not in these games. Is he just going to train alone? We're not sure what's happening with that. And then he's also gone on to say, and wherever possible, use my voice against inhumanity and for justice. That's referring back to when he did, I think it was last year or the year before maybe. I'm not going to go into this in too much detail because I'm not 100% sure of all the details. But he did make a complaint about the treatment of Muslims in China. Of course, Arsenal never commented or done anything about that. Some people are now coming out saying, though, that that would pretty much just ruin the club, because then China could actually apparently go and sue them for millions, pretty much just destroying the whole company as Arsenal FC. But Mesut saying that he's still going to try and fight for these people rightfully, of course, he is doing the right thing by talking about these injustices and trying to make things right. But yeah, as I said, people divided in this, which, as I said again, not something we need at the moment. But then again, if you look back to Socrates, he's not included in the Premier League squad. He's not included in the Europa League squad. And that's an argument Arsenal fans who don't like Mesut Ozil are making. Why is Mesut Ozil putting out all these fancy statements and things like that? Socrates, he's just sitting at home. He doesn't really mind at all. He's not made a fuss. He's not made anything like that. Even though he's been left out of the two things Mesut has been left out of as well. So we need to. I'm forgetting about Socrates, to be honest, because he seems like quite a nice general guy. Why has he been left out? I'm not sure. Maybe we're just trying to move him on a bit as well. But that's what Mesut Ozil's had to say. If we just scan over here, Arteta has actually talked about this in his press conference for tomorrow's Europa League game, which there will be a preview out very soon. He said that he takes full responsibility for Ozil's absence. He said in a quote, "I've been really fair with him. My level of communication with him has been really high." And apparently Arteta was not surprised by Mesut Ozil's statement. So a couple of things there from the manager himself. If we take a look to some of the pundits in football and football players themselves, of course, Gary Lineker, a former player of the English game and of course now pundit, he said every footballer wants to play, not being able to regardless of salary is soul destroying. And Jack Wilshere, a former Arsenal player, former teammate of Ozil, saying spot on Gary, especially when you're the best player, saying that Mesut Ozil is our best player at the club at the moment. So lots of people getting involved with this chat. Make sure to get involved yourself. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. But this is really taking a turn, but we'll see where this heads. Obviously, more headlines probably going to be coming out over the next couple of weeks or so, just talking in general about what's going to happen with this whole team and, what is just going to happen, because it's a really weird situation. But let's move on to my next piece of news, and as I said, I'm just going to bring you some general injury updates because we do actually have a bit of news. So Dani Ceballos and Willian have actually both picked up some minor injuries in training. Ceballos with some ankle bruising and Willian with a calf issue will actually miss tomorrow's match against Rapid Vienna and are being assessed ahead of our visit to Leicester on Sunday. And Rob Holding, of course, he got injured in that warm-up pre-game to the City match. He's actually suffered a hamstring injury, but is likely to be back in approximately 3 weeks. And we've got an update on Shkodran Mustafi. He's actually back in full training and is available for selection, so really good to see that because he's been quite solid, but of course he picked up that injury unfortunately. But that about wraps up this kind of chaotic episode with that Mesut Ozil saga being the main talk. But of course, get involved, let me know your thoughts down below, like, subscribe, share and comment. You may have seen me pop up in one of the corners in the video. Yeah, that's going to be a new feature. Decided to get the green screen out today and have a mess around with that, so you may be seeing some different pop-ups with subscribes and things like that. But just a bit of fun to try and make the videos a bit more entertaining and interesting. Of course, as I said, my preview for the Arsenal Rapid Vienna match for tomorrow's Europa League group stage clash will be out very, very soon. It won't, just a disclaimer, it won't be as in-depth and things like that as our Premier League previews and FA Cup previews because they're the Europa League group stages at the moment, and of course they're on a Thursday night, Wednesday night, so there's not a lot of time to get stuff done, whereas those important cup matches and Premier League matches, they usually take place on the weekend. Those are the important matches. But of course, as it gets further into the competition, where we get those semi-finals, fingers crossed if we manage to make it, and maybe even a final, of course I'll be doing an in-depth. But this is just going to be a quick overview who I think will start, looking at the opposition and my score prediction. But make sure to go check that out. Again, like, subscribe, share and comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.